Okay, quick show how to back probe a TrailBlazer four-wheel drive front axle disconnect to test to see is this actuator any good. I've already checked that I've got power to the brown wire. Battery power should be on the brown wire right here. Third wire is C. It's all black. It's not black with a white stripe like this one here, but it's all black. This third one here, that goes to ground. I've already established that, so that's not the point of this video here. What I'm wanting to show is when you have power and ground on those two to this actuator, you got this blue wire way down the other end. That goes back to the control module. When the control module wants this to activate, it grounds this wire. We can do that right here, down underneath the engine, whatever, wherever you've got it hanging out. You ground this, and the actuator should come up, assuming the key's on. So let's just get to it. I've got a fancy back probe set. So I've got a needle I've hooked to a ground point. This happens to be on a PCM, but down underneath the engine, you'll just find a good point to grab some metal somewhere off of the engine. And I've got a fancy little back probe set. You can do this with just a sewing needle if you have to. So key on. There we go. So that key on gives power to this brown wire. Black wire is always connected to ground. I've got my probe going to a ground spot. I'm going to probe down in here. Each one of these wires where they go into this connector has the bare wire going into a metal terminal, and around the outside of it is like a whitish silicone rubber seal. You don't want to screw up the seal, so you got to take your needle and go in at an angle. You got to be able to see good in there. You want to be right up against the wire, and don't screw up the seal. And once I get it started in there, if I push in, this thing should activate. Just like that. Once I make contact, I'm going to withdraw it a little bit. There it goes. Push it in a little bit, I'm grounded, remember. So the point is I'm grounding this blue wire to frame or engine ground somewhere. That activates the actuator. So if you've got power here on the brown wire, you've got ground here on the black wire. You don't have to do anything with the black-white. It's connected back. It's just, the black-white is there to send a signal back to the TCCM. So when this is fully extended, then a signal goes back on the black and white to tell the TCM that this has done its job. It's all the way extended. All I'm doing here is pushing this in until I hit metal inside. There goes the actuator. If it doesn't work and you got all this power ground and you've grounded the blue wire, then this actuator is dead.